New legendary items are here, and I want to see who is the winner and who is the loser in terms of the new essences and which class I think you should be playing moving forward. Let's get straight to it. So I covered the patch notes yesterday. Now we're just talking about the actual new legendary items. So let's talk about Barbarian first. So the first one is the Offhand, which is going to be Hammer of the Ancients. Now charges energy with each of your other attacks, which is consumed on use to increase its damage and strike radius. What? Oh, so you basically build up power with Hammer of the Ancients, and then when you do use Hammer of the Ancients, the damage will be increased, and the radius will be increased. Interesting. So you're sort of building up power to have a stronger Hammer of the Ancients. That could be good. I'll be interested to see how the rest of this plays out. So then we have the Helm, which is during Wrath of the Berserker, your critical hit chance is increased by 10%. Okay, I haven't been on the Barbarian in a while. I'm trying to think of like what other headpieces you would be sacrificing for this. I mean, ultimately, it's a very minimal increase, and you can get a higher percent increase almost anywhere else in the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much value there is there, but you guys let me know. I got a lot of Barb friends, so you guys let me know. Pants. Leap also increases your attack speed by 15% for 3 seconds. Okay. And then Chest. When Hammer of the Ancients hits an enemy, it drops additional hammers on nearby enemies that deal 50% of its damage. Cannot occur more often than once every 3 seconds. Okay, so you got some amount of a build coming to fruition here with your Offhand and Chest. Obviously, all of it's intended to be one big build for itself, but again, theory crafting. Shoulders. Whirlwind makes enemies it hits more vulnerable, increasing critical hit chance against them by 3% for 3 seconds, up to a maximum of 15%. Okay, so for those endless Whirlwind barbs, this could be good for you. I don't know with that endless Whirlwind barb build where your key essences were, but if this fits into that, that's fantastic. Wait, what? Main hand. Whirlwind now shatters enemy armor and has a significantly increased attack speed. So you spin faster? I mean, that's how I'm interpreting that. So you basically will spin faster and it shatters enemy armor. I thought we already had one that shatters enemy armor, so that's where my reaction was coming from. But that seems, again, if the shoulder and the main hand can blend in with the existing unlimited Whirlwind Barb build, like that feels really cool. And that would be fun to play. Okay. So in my honest opinion, for the Barbarian, it's sort of like it's sort of mid, I'm gonna be honest, in terms of these essences. It's nothing game breaking. I think there is some uniqueness that you will be able to enhance an existing cool build you already have, and for that reason, like it's fun, but nothing like, oh wow, I want to go play the Barb right now, like what we had with the Endless Whirlwind Barb build. Like, you know what I mean? Like that build was fun to play. All right, Blood Knight. All right, so Offhand, activating Abomination. Okay, I see a lot of Abominations. Interesting. All right, so activating Abomination increases your damage by 10% for 3 seconds. After Abomination ends, your movement speed is increased by 30% for 3 seconds. 3 seconds is not that long. It's a buff, so I'm assuming it's going to be impacted by Vithus and other extended durations, but okay, it is what it is. It's an Offhand, so at least we have 2 of them, so it doesn't like have to sacrifice something really good. And then Pants. While Abomination is active, you gain a new charge skill called Brusting Claw, which launches a claw of blood that explodes on hit. So you basically add additional skill when you're in Abomination. Interesting. Whirling Strike now dashes forward with spinning strikes, gathering enemies along your path and causing them to bleed. So the Blood Knight, go figure, does have some really good bleeding abilities now. And it sounds like, so Whirling Strike now dashes forward with spinning strikes, gathering enemies along your path and causing them to bleed. So it sounds like you're sort of gathering people, literally, as that's what it says, which could be good for like maybe a new farm build as well. So that's interesting. There you go. So Chest, the Abomination skill Shattering Fist is now charged, slamming the ground to damage enemies and increases the critical hit damage they take. I don't like charging skills, I'm gonna be honest. Helm. Whirling Strike also increases your critical hit damage by 30% for 3 seconds. Now that could be good because there's a lot of Whirling Strikes, like we can get multiple, like there's a lot of different essences that give you multiple strikes of Whirling Strike. So like 30% critical hit damage is kind of nutty. And again, with extended durations, you can make this almost probably 100% uptime with some builds. So that actually feels really good. It does kind of feel like an L though for the barb getting that 10% crit hit chance. Well, that's crit hit chance, and this is crit hit damage. It's notable difference there. So crit hit chance is how often you can critically hit, but crit hit damage is what happens after you had the chance of getting the critical hit, if that makes sense. All right, so chest. The abomination skill. Oh wait, I already talked about that one. All right, we're down here on shoulders. Abomination is no longer requires anger to transform. It now requires the presence of nearby bleeding enemies to transform, dealing damage and causing fear. Interesting. Okay, so now you can theoretically be in Abomination a lot quicker, but then you don't necessarily have bleeds in Abomination mode, so you won't be able to keep it up. Pause. I don't know. That one could be interesting. I will say again, nothing that like gets me incredibly excited. I would be more excited about Blood Knight than I am Barbarian, but yeah, I like that they're trying to make Abomination more worthwhile because it's such a it was such a big part of the new class, and nobody really uses it. So there you go. Crusader. All right, so chess piece. Critical hit chance against enemies affected by judgment is increased by 10%. Again, the 10% just doesn't feel good. But it is the critical hit chance. All right. Then your helmet, Fist of Heavens, now unleashes an exploding pulse, damage, dealing lightning damage to nearby enemies. It also passively strikes nearby burning enemies with lightning. Passively. Does that mean like you don't? It's only while it's active, or you have to activate it to get this passive? Unclear. If it's truly passive, you can make obviously a really good farm build with bleeds, so that could be good. All right, offhand, shield glare no longer blinds and now erupts with lightning to damage and apply shock. Ooh, a shock to nearby enemies. I think this is new? Question mark. A new debuff? Shock. Like, what does that do to you? Like, we have stun. Yeah, I don't know. All right, moving on. Sacred Fire deals 25% increased damage to shocked enemies, or that. Okay, understood. That's your main hit. That's like your primary attack. Okay. Fist of Heavens also explodes when hitting a burning enemy, dealing lightning damage to nearby enemies and applying shock for 2 seconds. Cannot occur more often than once every 2 seconds on the same target, but it lasts for 2 seconds. So you can do it nonstop. If I'm understanding that right. Shock Trooper. That's fantastic. Pants. Fist of Heaven also explodes when hitting a burning enemy. I already read this one. All right. Judgment now calls bolts of fire to fall continuously in an area around you, burning random nearby enemies. Okay, there you go. So that's good. I like that. So nothing, again, I don't know what I'm looking for to be amazing. I like this one maybe more than the other two, though. What do you think? But I also think some of that's because I haven't been on the Crusader in a long time. All right, Demon Hunter. Shoulders, spinning Kraken, chalkram, whatever that is, the spinning things, explodes when hitting a bleeding enemy, dealing additional damage. Chest. Vengeance now causes every primary attack to inflict bleed and shatter enemy armor. Dealing damage over time and causing enemies to take more damage with both effects stacking. Damn. So you make them bleed and break their armor. That's wild. That's one essence. That feels really good. And then, okay, while Vengeance is active, your primary attack speed is increased by 6% for every nearby bleeding enemy, up to a maximum of 18%. So you need to hit 3 people. All right, so I mean, if you were to do a Impale and Vengeance combo where you shoot through people and you're in a lane in PvP, like, holy crap, that's going to do a ton of damage now. Okay, I think Demon Hunter's coming back. All right, and that's while Vengeance. All right, I already read this one. Yeah, okay, offhand. Spinning Charakaraka instead empowers you for several seconds, during which your primary attacks launch chakrams that bounce between and damaging enemies. Oof. Okay, so really you could do this and then Vengeance. Oh. So then, and then it's gonna hit and explode and damn. Okay. Woo! I remember what I said previously, that like I wasn't sure what would excite me. Dude, so far the Demon Hunter is exciting me. This is going to be nutty damage. All right, crossbow shot splits into 2 projectiles when it hits into a bleeding enemy, dealing damage to subsequent enemies. Okay. And then this one increases your primary attack speed by 30% for 3 seconds. Dude, that build for the Demon Hunter is going to be nutty. Oh my God. Like, just use all of this and it's going to be insane. And then, like I said, use like Impale or Hungerer for the main hand offhand, and then like just go to town. That's going to be, whoo, damn. Okay, Demon Hunter so far is the biggest W in my book. That is crazy good. Wow. All right, the Monk. Please be good. Please be good. Boundless Breath offhand. Cyclone Strike's cooldown is reduced by 0.04 seconds, or 1 energy is recovered for every yard moved. What? I don't even know what that means. Okay, Cyclone Strike is now okay. Cyclone Strike is now channeled, causing you to run forward, spinning a staff of storms to damage enemies. While channeling, you are immune to knockback effects. That's not it. It's not it. That's not it. All right. Helmet. Inner Sanctuary now conjures a runic circle of flames that follows you, burning nearby enemies. Good for farming. That's it. All right. Leaping Shadow. Main hand. 7-sided strike now empowers you for several seconds, during which you continually launch attacks at random nearby enemies. Farming. Okay. Cyclone Strike. Pants. Cyclone Strike's damage is increased by 1% up to a maximum of 30% for every 1% increase in movement speed. Farming. 7-sided strike. Shoulders increases your movement speed by 10% for 2 seconds after hitting an enemy up to a maximum of 40%. God, Monk. I'm sorry for all those Monk mains out there. This is not it again, dude. Moving on. Necro. Offhand, Skeleton Mage is now mobile and channels beams at multiple nearby enemies that deal more damage the longer they hit the same target. Interesting. Pants. While Bone Armor is active, the movement speed and attack speed on you and your summons increase by 10%. Okay. Shoulder. Skeleton Mage's grows in size and strength the longer it is active, increasing its damage by 30% after 5 seconds. Okay. Helmet. Your Golem. Did I skip one? No, your Golem roars once every 2 seconds, extending the duration of your nearby Skeleton Mages by 2 seconds. Oh, okay, we got a PvE build. Command Golem now summons a Devouring Golem with unlimited... What? Unlimited duration that consumes nearby corpses to increase its size, maximum life, damage, and attack range, while dealing damage and slowing nearby enemies. What? So now you can have you can not mages, but you can have your command skeletons and command golem just out at all times. And as it kills things, it will get bigger and stronger. Whew. And it's a main hand, which means you could stack this with another main hand that, like, I think at least. Oh no, it turns it into a different golem, so you won't be able to stack it with like the fire golem or whatever. Interesting. All right. Chest. Bone Armor now empowers your nearby summons, granting them immunity to damage and loss of control. Mid as fuck. Okay. So overall, this main hand goes crazy. And then I do appreciate that this, along with this, the helmet, will make it so your Skeleton Mages can stay out longer. So actually, wait a minute. Oh my God. This means I missed it. So because it does it once every 2 seconds, it will extend the duration of nearby Skeleton Mages by 2 seconds, which means if your command golem is out all the time and he roars every 2 seconds, they're just going to be out all the fucking time. So Necro's going to be running around here with the whole fucking army behind him. All right, I want to go Necro so far. Necro or Demon Hunter, that's crazy. For PvE, I don't think this is any good changes for Necro in PvP, admittedly, but I do think it's gonna be really good for PvE, either for farming or for dungeons or whatever. Necro, this is a good PvE update for the Necro. The Demon Hunter, though, is really good for everything Demon Hunter. Like, the Demon Hunter is about to be crazy. All right, moving on. Tempest. Okay, so shoulders. Storm Fury now engulfs an enemy in wind, damaging and knocking them airborne. When the target is struck 3 times, they burst, dealing additional damage to nearby enemies. Okay. Chest. Flowing Strike now causes you to dissipate into water, becoming briefly untargetable. Oh, shit. All right. And upon reforming, you conjure 2 Zephyrs and gain a shield that absorbs damage. God damn it. Meta. Tempest meta. This is a now must-used chest piece for the Tempest. Untargetable, and you come back with 2 Zephyrs, which is going to help with your bursty damage and give you a shield. Yep. That's it. That's what you need right there. All right, offhand. Blade Dance also increases your critical hit chance by 10% for 3 seconds when it strikes an enemy. Okay. Helmet. Blade Dance now throws your edges, impaling them into the first enemy they strike, sapping their power to increase your attack speed and movement speed. That your edges remain embedded in the target for a short while before they are stunned. But you have to hit them, I bet. Like, is this like the other helm where you have to like literally aim and hit them, I bet? For Blade Dance? It probably is. Either way, that's pretty cool. Main hand. So Rolling Surf now empowers your edges, causing you and your Zephyr's primary attacks to throw water daggers that return to you. While active, each use of a skill or primary attack grants you an additional dagger for each throw. What? You can straight up turn the Tempest into a range? That's kind of interesting. Rolling Surf empowers your edges, causing you... Okay, yeah. Interesting. Pants. Storm Fury also increases your attack speed by 5% when it strikes an enemy, stacking up to 6 times. Okay. So Tempest is pretty good. Like, this is like I don't know. Like, this is top tier. Not top top, but this is better than some of the other ones. So like right now it's like Demon Hunter, Necro, Tempest for me, top 3. Wizard is the last one. All right. So a main hand. When Lightning Nova deals a critical hit, it emits a charged bolt. Okay. Offhand. When Lightning Nova hits a shocked enemy, it unleashes another Lightning Nova. Cannot occur more often than once every 6 seconds. Okay, Lightning Nova now, and chest piece now. Lightning Nova now calls a lightning orb to orbit you, dealing lightning damage to enemies it hits. Okay. Interesting. It's in the chest piece, so this is where the other orbit ones are for Lightning Nova. So like that's... Okay. If it does AoE damage, it'll be crazy. All right. When Disintegrate hits a shocked enemy, it unleashes a chain lightning, dealing damage to the target and 2 nearby enemies. Cannot occur more often than once every 1 second. Wow. Okay. But it has said a shocked enemy. And so far, oh, right here. I was like, so far, we're not applying shock to anything. So slow time is the helmet. Now surrounds you with a static field that follows you, damaging and applying shock to all nearby enemies. So... I don't see this being viable for PvP because it's going to be very obvious that if you just stay away from the wizard. The wizards are too squishy. So like this is really like a farm build for the wizard. So like you're just going to let it orbit around you. You're going to do damage with slow time, have that going around you. And then Disintegrate. You're going to probably want to use that one. The chain damage. All right. Disintegrate now surrounds you with a entropy field that follows you, damaging and making nearby enemies vulnerable to critical hits. Okay, so it's just a farm build essentially, a slow one at that. I will say, interesting. I don't know. All right, so that's it. My top tier, my top 3 is going to be Demon Hunter. I think got the biggest W out of these new essences, and then it's going to be Necromancer because having a full-on army of summons around you all the time is crazy, unless that one like what was it, a helm that makes it so your golem roars every 2 seconds, unless that's only in combat, which still, I mean, it'll be 100% up in combat, but that's interesting. Okay, I like it. And then it's probably going to be the Tempest. So Demon Hunter, Necro, Tempest are the top 3 W's in terms of classes, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. Again, I always do these types of videos separate than the main ones because so much goes into them, and I like to theory craft with you guys. So let me know what you think about which class. Do you agree with my rank? Again, Demon Hunter, Necro, and Tempest, 1, 2, and 3. Let me know what your top 3 are in the comment section below. We'll see how many of us agree and how many of us disagree. Until next time, guys, I hope to see you in a video soon.